Hi everybody, welcome to TechIsRate Academy. In this video, we are going to be talking about React CSS modules. So let's go. In the last video, I know we talked about it briefly, but this gives us proper explanation on what CSS module is. So it says CSS modules let you write CSS that is scoped locally to a specific component. This prevents CSS class name conflicts and make your style more maintainable. So we have the question, what are CSS modules? In React, CSS modules are CSS files where class names are scoped locally by default. So it says, note, CSS modules are not part of the React core library. It is not part of it, but are supported by many React build tools. For example, Tailwind, for example, Vite. So the CSS file have to have the .module.css extension and can be used by importing it into your React file or files. So creating a CSS module, let's create a CSS module called button module.css where we can style some buttons. Let's go. So in this space, it said creating a CSS module, they created it, and it says using a CSS module, import this does it. Okay, so let's set our own example. So in this space, we're going to create a new file because we've used other file. So create a new file, which is button.jsx. In this button.jsx file, we'll say function button, which in this place, we'll say return inside a div, we would have a div which will hold button. And inside this button would say my button. My button is nice. Is nice. Then we would have a class name, which is class name styles dot button. That will be the name of our style sheet. Then we'll create a new file, which will be button dot c dot module dot css. Then before we forget, we would import it here. Import styles from button.module.css. So now let's go to our CSS. So in this place, we want to style it as button. We named it button. Button, which will be, we give it padding. Inside this padding, we can have 10 pixel. We can have 10 pixel and 20 pixel. We can as well have border, which will be none. We can have our border radius, which will be 4px. And we can also have our pointer, which will be cursor. Now let's export it. We've linked this already to our JSX file, which is import styles from the name of this file, which is button.module.css. And in this space, we have it as button. So now let's export our button. So we'll say export default, button. I hope you are getting it. Let me remove all of this. It's looking too choked. And we'll come here, we'll import our button here. Say import button from buttons, and let's come here. Button. Now let's check our results. So let's go. As you can see, it here, my button is nice with the CSS. If we change the background color, let's give it a background color. Let's say background color should be blue. Can you see we have our button and we can say we want our color to be white. Now our button is looking so nice. Yeah. I hope you understand how module works. And as well, we can have multiple classes. So can you see example explain? We have import the style object, which we import the style object from the CSS module. Access the class. We use the styles.myButton to access my button classes, and we have unique class name. The actual class name of the button will be unique, e.g. my button dot. You just make it unique. So we have another example that we can do, which is multiple classes. In that kind of button, we can as well have multiple classes, add more styles in the button. So let's go. So in this place, we can like comment this out and say, after we comment this one out, we would have another button. So inside this button, we'll say let's just say primary button. So inside this button, we would have class name. And inside this class name, we would have our curly braces, and we would have our template literal, which will be bringing in the two style name, which will be styles.button, and as well what we want to call the name of this one, which will be styles.primary. That is primary button. And we will duplicate this and also call it secondary button. We will say secondary button, secondary. And in this place, we'll call it secondary button. Secondary button. Good. Now let's proceed to our CSS. Let's style this too. So we'll say .style dot primary. Inside this primary, we want to have our background color. So in this place, we have to remove background color and we have to remove our color, which is white, because since we want to show difference between the two. So we'd have our background color to be red. Our color should be white. And we'll also do the same thing for the secondary color, which the background color will be as well blue, and the color will be white. Now let's check our results. Can you see? That's having multiple styling, multiple classes. The first one and second one. We can give this blue a little margin left. Let's just give our margin left 4 pixels. So can you see? I hope you understand so well. So in this next slide, it is telling us that to demonstrate the changes, we need to have 2 buttons with 2 classes. I hope you understand so well. Thank you for watching this video. Please do follow us across all socials at Techie Academy. See you next time. Bye.